19.3. Haven't quite gotten around to doing the workout yet. Haven't really shot that much this weekend. Tried to take a little family time. But now it's Sunday night. I still haven't done the workout, and I need to get after it. So we're using the garage. We're using the driveway. We're just gonna deal with it. It's gonna be a good time. Let's go. We're all marked off. We got tape. We got tape outside. We're gonna put the GoPro outside, this in here, and then just hope that I actually sort of film this. It's gonna be interesting. Minute 40. All right, good warm up. 28 handstand push-ups, I think. Wow, I went way too slow on those step ups. I thought I was moving. Oh man, but that was way too slow. I think it took me like 4 minutes to get through those step ups, and I wasn't even like breathing hard. I just was moving slow. Oops. Super fun workout. All right, post 19.3. I feel like now is as good a time as ever to do a little SuperCleary HQ garage gym tour. All right, here we go. All right, machine-wise, we got 2 of them. We got the assault bike. We also got the ski erg. Don't take up a lot of space, but you can get absolutely awesome stuff. The ski erg I really like because oftentimes when I'm actually in an affiliate, usually rowing, doing something like that. So having the ski ergs that can kind of fit into the garage, super cool. And then assault bike. Nothing better for a quick workout and just pretty much mess yourself up. We're still in post 19.3 setup configuration, so it's like a super mess and everything's moved around like crazy right now. So over there is our handstand wall zone, but this is the scribblings of me and the wifey. Workouts, we normally do street parking in here. It's a great program, check it out. What else? We have baby monitors in the garage so we can actually see what they're doing. I think he's going back to sleep. Okay, pound pads. Absolute must indoors, even though this is a concrete slab. You drop weight on this, you'll hear it through the whole house. Pound pads make a huge difference. What else we got? We have some Valor Fitness squat stands, like as you can tell. Don't have a lot of space, so I want to be able to move stuff around instead of having a rig that's bolted into the wall. I got an old, again, faster box. Storage, obviously super big in a small garage gym like this. So I gotta be able to get everything up into the walls and really tuck it away. So I have the weights up on the wall. This is Performance RX, I think makes this stuff. Performance RX also makes that double bar holder. Again, my bar selection, I got a regular good old Rogue 2.0 bar, and then the C70 bar. The C70 is awesome because it's shorter, so you can actually fit it in the garage. Pull-up rig. It's a Rogue pull-up rig. Bolts to the wall. Great. I got a knockoff bench off of Amazon. It's like 35 bucks. It does the job for benching, and considering I can't really bench all that much anyway, works perfectly fine. Got the weight vest, got the gymnastics rings, and yeah. Oh yeah, then I got the whole crap load of dumbbells and plates and wall ball and sleds and stuff, even though I don't get to use them all that much. Oh, I have a short rope over there too, so I'll do a lot of like sit to stands and stuff when I want to mix it up instead of doing pull-ups. And, oh, well. Baby's waking up. Baby should be asleep. Oh, baby's sitting up too. Oh, baby head down. Baby head up. All right. We got a baby sitch. Gonna deal with that. Okay, 19.3 week. Didn't focus on photography this week. What I want to focus on is documenting, and specifically using video to help you just basically show what you're doing. It's super trendy right now to always be documenting what you're up to, but people don't really think through what that actually means, or how you actually do it, or most importantly, how to actually put together a video edit. So what I'm gonna do is jump into the computers in a second and show you a super easy workflow to take a couple clips from whether you're on a shoot or whether you're on some other kind of job, glue it together in Premiere, export it off, and make everyone like you more, okay? So the whole documenting thing, I think, was like a big Gary Vee thing, and it gets confused a lot where people think that just filming themselves is gonna be super interesting. The most important part of it is making sure when you're filming yourself or filming what you're doing, that you're actually trying to convey some actual value, as opposed to just being like, hey, look at me. It should be more like, hey, I can show you how to do this thing for free, and it's not just all a sales pitch. So if that's interesting to you, go for it. The number one tip I can give you, regardless of like the specifics of video editing or specifics of how you're gonna shoot it, is that don't worry about gear. All you need to do is take your iPhone or any phone, turn it sideways, start filming, and then try to mash it together into some actually coherent edit. You do not need gear to do this, and the biggest thing that stops people from doing this is actually thinking that they need gear to do it. So jump on your phone. You could do this starting right now after you watch this and put together some sort of episode about a day in the life, or what kind of job you're doing, or something else fun. All right, so we'll jump into the computer. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we are on the big screen. I have the project up from last week's vlog, and the point of that is to try to just show you quickly what a full workflow, the full sequence is gonna look like, the way I at least assemble things. So like this is just, you know, this is the guts of it here. You got your video clips, audio clips, you have a music track. I then try to start getting a little fancier. I have a little watermark that stays on everything. I got some titles that start popping in. And yeah, that's the basics. The goal of these is to show you kind of how I'm doing the stuff I'm doing. So we have some pictures that pop up on screen. We got a little B-roll. We got some me explaining stuff. And yeah, then we have some more B-roll. Bam, we got workout, all that good stuff. So let me show you basically what I'm thinking about when I'm putting something like this together, and how that whole process is gonna happen. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm just gonna copy that. So first step, gotta create a new sequence, all right? So I'm always gonna use a 1080 project, because again, you're looking at this on a phone, doesn't matter. 24 frames a second, I'm always gonna work out. Cool. So I'm gonna just hide this stuff over here. Now, when you're working in Premiere, you have your project folder over here where it's got all your clips and all that good stuff. All I need to do is click around. And so like right now I have like 2-3 weeks of projects in here, 2-3 weeks of shoots. So it's kind of like a bit of a mess. But so maybe I actually organize stuff, is that possible? No, it doesn't look like I organized it at all. But all you're gonna basically do is figure out the good stuff in each clip, drag it into your sequence over here, and then just start building up the clip from there. Backing up from the technical side, what you want to be always thinking about is just a story. It doesn't matter what you're documenting, but it makes your life so much easier on the edit if you just think about what you're trying to get across at the end of the episode, right? So I always try to think about it like TV. You're supposed to have an episode that's supposed to tell some sort of story. So figure out what that story is. If it's as simple as like this, like, hey, I am doing a photo shoot. I need to know that I need to have a beginning where I do something like saying, I am going on a photo shoot. You know, who, what, where, when, why. And then I need to make sure I have footage of me shooting, and I have footage of the process of putting it together, because this is supposed to be like a behind the scenes thing. And then I know I need to have some sort of wrap up footage, right? So what I'll show you here is I'm gonna cheat just a hair and pull some of the clips that I already have together. So once I'll grab this guy first, just go through the sequence that I had. All right, we'll pull this guy over here. So I knew when I pulled up, I put my camera in the trunk, close the trunk again, and then start. And so I have me opening the trunk, and I'm talking about I'm on a photo shoot and where I am. Super fun, right? But that's just an establishing shot. Cool. And that's it. That's all it is. Then I need to have me actually getting there. So one of the easiest tricks you can do is just plop the camera somewhere, turn on record, or if you're using an iPhone, just put on the time-lapse feature, and then you're gonna get a nice long clip like this, where this is just a nice little time-lapse. I said I was gonna do a headshot shoot. I'm showing me setting up the headshot stuff. So I can show you, so we'll pull that clip in, pull that back into my sequence over here. I said I was gonna do this in 2 minutes. It seems like it's taking a little longer than that, but very easy. If I press Command R, it brings up my speed controls. And so this is at like ludicrous speed. Like this started at 100, and you can see very easily that that ain't gonna fit. So then I sped it up like absolutely crazy, because instead of doing a time lapse, I actually just recorded it regular and then just sped it up in post. Super easy. Gives me more options in the future. Let me see. But so from there, I'm now just gonna start building the story on top of it. Like it's important to easily just talk to the people you're with. So like, I'm with my dude, Rich, one of the owners over at CrossFit Strong Out. So I chit chat with him a little bit. Chit chat, right? And then if you've ever watched a vlog before, one of the easiest ways to start putting content in there that starts looking fun is, if you have the ability, and even an iPhone can do this, is you shoot slow-mo, right? So all of these clips are shot. I'll show you, let me just spread these out a little bit. Like everything's already trimmed so it looks nicer. And I just have the good stuff here. So what I just did is brought it back to full speed. Okay, so I'll put all of these clips next to each other so you can see this real quick. All right, so this is at full speed. Okay, doesn't look like too much, right? But if I now take these 3 clips and turn them to 40%, because I shot it at 120 frames, I shot it at 60 frames a second, and my project is at 24 frames per second, so that means I can slow it down to 40%. I'm gonna slow it all down. All right, and now if I look at it, ooh, I get that smooth slow-mo. And this clip is the actual bulk of the shoot here. So we're gonna probably speed this back up a little bit, right? I'm just gonna undo everything real quick and then make my life easier. Okay, but so we're gonna now stack up our slow-mo clips. And then we actually then immediately go into another one of those time-lapse clips. Cool. All right, we'll throw that together. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, so look, now we have our slow-mo clips, we have a little cinematic, so again, just the flow of it. I have a start, which me saying where I am. I go into like a setup, but it could be anything here. Really me walking in and talking about it would be perfectly fine too. Then you get me talking to the owner, some cinematic B-roll showing the space. We got some more slow-mo again. And let's jump ahead a little bit. To me, specifically in this headshot shoot, this is the most important part of the headshot shoot in terms of value that I'm trying to convey, is me literally giving exactly what my setup is, what the exact camera is, how I'm triggering my flashes, and if I look a little earlier, you can watch as I'm doing and showing where I am putting the light and how I am staging and posing the people, right? And I do it again and show it again. But then here I'm literally just talking through the complete process, all the equipment, all the tools, and I just let that run. Like, this doesn't need to be fancy, it wasn't rehearsed, it probably doesn't even make that much sense, but it gets the point across, it gets started. I go back into another little cinematic B-roll as a transition into
workout time, right? This is kind of like a workout vlog. So I got working out happening, and then me taking pictures of working out. We're gonna cut there. I then wrap this up with, at the end of this section of the vlog, there was like a, you know, I can even find it, yeah. But this is the stuff where it's so important, that this is where you just have to stay on. So like I go through a whole thing where I'm shooting, I'm showing some of the shots, I'm showing some of the GoPro. But then this is the stuff you really gotta work hard to remember about, is you gotta finish your little story, right? You gotta have an ending, okay? So right here, I'll jump right into it. It's me packing up, putting things away. Then I go into a little more just B-roll, sign of the gym, driving home, and then the next day, right? So we could literally have just ended just right here, okay? So again, I'm gonna just organize this down a little bit. So and just say that this is gonna be the entire vlog project for whatever this episode is I'm putting together. So I put this together, cool, sounds great. Like again, I'm using Premiere, I'm very comfortable in that, but even iMovie can do this. Even the iMovie app on the iPhone can do this with just stacking iPhone clips. Nothing I've done requires any of this kind of more high power gear. It's just about story, thinking about a beginning, a middle, and an end, and delivering something that might actually be interesting. When you want to start getting into fancier stuff, I color grade everything with just very simply. I use just an adjustment layer, so that way I can easily kind of put a grade on and take it back off. So here I open up my Lumetri color, Lumetri, whatever. But so, because I shoot in a relatively flat color profile, boom, give it a little bit of that. Punches everything up real nice. Everything now looks nice and contrasty. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. But it applies it to the adjustment layer, which is on top of it. And that way it doesn't mess up the clips. I want to throw my watermark in there, so I take a graphic file, right? I position it, I scale it, looks great, cool. If you want that to fade in, I'll press Command D to put a little cross dissolve in there, and then it just jumps in like that. Obviously, first clip, I need to make sure that has a cross dissolve on it. So that comes in from black. My audio track, I'm gonna press Command Shift D to put in a cross dissolve, or I don't even know if it's called cross dissolve, but on the audio track, so that fades in. Those are little polishes you can do to be extra fancy. All right. And now last but not least, or actually last but pretty important, and I generally wouldn't be waiting to the last second to do this, especially for all of the kind of like more cinematic-y B-roll, because that to me, you always want to have cut to music, meaning that when the beat in the song changes, that's a really good cue for you to be changing your clip, right? So I selected a music track already, and what I've actually been finding, so let me back up. If you have music, the music cannot be at the same level as the talking, and the music should come up during kind of more cinematic-y, you know, the time-lapse clips, the slow-mo clips, but it should be down during the speaking. You can do that manually, but the newer versions of Premiere now actually let you set, it's called ducking. It's been in iMovie forever, but it's only recently made its way into Premiere. But so I can set these clips as dialogue clips, and then I set this as a music track. I turn on ducking and essential sound, generate me some fresh keyframes. Bam! And now it is going to effortlessly get quiet, and then get loud and go back and forth all the way through. Cool. All right, so let's think about some other stuff. We'll just say we're gonna wrap it up right here. Other stuff in terms of the process here that you gotta do. All right. Let me just pop that off. Other things that can make your little documenting process more fun. You should have a title. So in Premiere, I could literally just do like, you know, 19.2 how to photo shoot, right? I take that, I jump into my essential graphics, I can start centering stuff down. Bam, do hit those guys. Let's find a fun font here. Oh, we might see a very common thing, which is a Premiere crashing. There it goes. Boom. Okay, cool. It's not great, but we're gonna say, make it hot red. And give it a big stroke on it too. Oh, that is ugly. But now I got a title. And same thing, I could just put a little one of these on it, a little cross dissolve. Now it fades in, fades out. Cool, now you have a title. Fantastic. All right. Now, I basically let's say that was, what was it? Ooh, that was like 10 minutes. Okay, let's say it was 10 minutes. We're gonna fast forward through some of those parts. But now I have a whole documenting journey, a whole video off of me doing a photo shoot. Now this can be applied to anything you're doing, and it's super easy to put together. And honestly, I found even if less than 3 people watch it, I still find it a very satisfying project and journey. So, oh, thank God. Oof, I was a little nervous there that the mic wasn't on, but we're good. What else could I tell you about this? Oh, so just delivery. If I was working in a Premiere space, I just need to export this, and I can let it keep whatever the high bit rate or whatever is going on, or I can use one of the presets that's built out specifically for like social media. But the thing with like Instagram or whatever, it's gonna compress it anyway, so you could just let Instagram do its jam. Other stuff to go along with this, if you want more people to watch it, you need to make sure you're making like little promos on Instagram or on your story, because if you're gonna post this on YouTube, you need to drive traffic over there. Otherwise, just have fun with it. So if I was going to reflect, most important thing in any kind of like documenting project, just make sure you go into it knowing what you're trying to get out of the end of it. Don't just film everything. That will just lead to a overwhelming, daunting project that is impossible to put together in the end, unless you have a huge paid staff of editors. It's much easier to be like, hey, I'm trying to get a project out once a week. I'm gonna know that this is the day I'm gonna shoot it, and this is the night I'm gonna put it together. And start simple and build from there. As long as you got a beginning, a middle, and an end, you pretty much got yourself a story. Then you can get fancier by throwing in the audio tracks, throwing in music, throwing in some graphics, throwing in layers, throwing B-roll on top of stuff, adding interviews, adding sound. But to start, you just need to start gluing some things together. If you have any questions specifically on how I do my video editing, feel free to, like, I don't know, put a comment down here. Give me one of those, like, where is it? I think it's over here, right? You know, a like and a subscribe and all those things. And 19.4, we're back on the grind. Gonna be taking a lot of pictures. I'm gonna guess they're gonna be muscle ups, like everyone else. Cool, that's it.